Hi, my loves, and welcome back to another episode of The Rosey Life. I have been MIA, and I want to share with you guys something that I think is really important to talk about. A week ago today, I had to put our little doggy Rubio down, and that was a very difficult thing for me to do. I had never had to do that before in my life, and I had never had a pet that long. So it was a very challenging time, and I want to talk about this openly and share this with you guys because as you are changing your life and you are manifesting or you are working on a goal, whether it's a business or whatever it is that you are in the process of doing for yourself, things are going to happen in your life, and it is perfectly normal. And I want to share with you how you can allow yourself to grieve or react or all of those things in your 3D and still know that your desires are still there and that nothing is wrong, nothing has stopped, right? You can't stop anything from happening, okay? So that is what I'm going to talk to you about because I know so many people experience the death of their pet or animal or a person in their life. And however this resonates with you, you can apply this to anything in your life that you are reacting to. And that is what I want to talk to you. So if this is you, this is going to be a video to help you and support you as well. So before we get started, if you haven't, if you're new here, my name is Rose and I am a success and confidence coach. I love to help people get out of their own way by falling in love with themselves even more and with their life. And for those of you who are returning, thank you so much. I appreciate your support so much. And I'm glad that you're here. For the month of March, still, this is my birthday month, I still have a self-concept makeover course on my website, TheRoseyLife.com. It is 3 full weeks of you focusing on 4 different areas of your life. So it's actually like 3.5 weeks long. It's not even 3 weeks, it's longer because every week you get to focus on a specific area of your life. And the first week is about trusting yourself and building confidence in you. And then another week is about love in relationships, all kinds of relationships. And then there is health in your body. And then there is money, your money mindset. Because if you don't change the way that you see yourself, and then you don't change yourself, how you see yourself in relation to those things, then you're going to feel like you're putting out fires or you're manifesting this little thing, this like, I need $1,000 for this, I need to move here. You're going to continue to manifest different little things and you're going to feel like you're on a hamster wheel. However, if you change your general self-concept about all of these areas, and first you have to be honest with yourself and pinpoint what is going on in your mind, in your thoughts, in your belief systems about these different areas, right? You got to get real with yourself. And that is what my course does. Is I ask you a series of questions. It has videos, and every other day you get an email from me with homework specifically targeting these areas. I have it spaced out so you don't just get all bombarded with one video in one workbook and then you're done and you have to watch the same thing over and over again. I have it spread out on purpose because I want you to be consistent with these things for almost a month. Okay, so that you are continually focused on these things. So each lesson has a different amount of homework, and it's just to help you rearrange your mind and focus on those areas in a way that helps you and serves you. So you can go to TheRoseyLife.com, and I also do offer one-on-one coaching now through that same website, so you can look for it there. And if you're interested in working with me longer term, I do 90-day coaching as well. Okay, so let's get started on this video. So a week ago today, actually, we had to put Rubio down, and he was 16 years old, and he was a part of our family all of those years. We had him since he was 9 months old, and honestly, I went through a lot of different things where I liked him, I didn't like him, and he was just part of the family that always has to be considered wherever we moved. I had to make sure that they took pets, making sure that he always had food, making sure that if everyone else forgot about him, I was the one that picked up the slack when someone forgot to feed him or those kind of things. So as Rubio got older, he required more help and obviously more attention and those kind of things. So that is where I also had to pick up a lot. But anyway, the point is that Rubio passed away. We had to put him down because he was not doing well. And like I said, I had never had to do that before in my life ever. Either my pets would run away, they'd get kidnapped, or we'd have to give them away because we moved out of the country, those kind of things. So I honestly never had to see the complete end, a whole cycle of having a pet in our family. So I took it a lot harder than I thought I was going to. I'm not gonna lie. It was very difficult, and I had to really take a step back from work, from everything, and just allow myself to grieve. Now, I want to tell you that there's a lot of different things that I'm always manifesting, okay? And there's a couple of bigger things, right, that I am manifesting right now. And so, however, the impulse to want to, like, you hear a lot of people say that you want to feel good, you want to make sure that you're in your best feeling state, and that you want to, not be negative, and all of these things that go around on social media or YouTube channels with different people. When something in your life happens, okay, there's so many lessons that came out of Rubio's death, and he was a reminder, okay, that you want to accept what is happening in front of you. You want to accept that the circumstances in front of you are already there, okay? They're already old news, okay? Some could say that I manifested the death of Rubio because there's no one else but me. Everyone is me pushed out, right? So, and yes, I did probably do that subconsciously because and like all of us, have agreed to be humans in this world, and we've agreed to timelines, we've agreed to the natural state of being, we've agreed to things unfolding on a timeline, right, with like aging and those kind of things. We've agreed to these concepts, right, as a human race. So, however, while we're here, we can totally change and manipulate how things fold out, okay? So my desire was never to try to keep Rubio alive for the rest of his life, or my life, or anyone's life, okay? I have never said, oh yeah, no, I'm gonna let my dog live to be 50 or 100 years old. Like, that's just not something that I've ever entertained. So I allow the natural unfolding of these things happening in the world, okay? So now the things that I focus on and changing are things that I put my attention to, that I want to. Now I gotta tell you guys that for those 16 years of Rubio's life, with the exception of the last, let's say, 6 months or less, maybe 4 months, Rubio was an extremely healthy dog. And because I always said, you're healthy. And I would even whisper in his ear and I'd tell him, you're healthy and you're loved. And I thank him for being so loving and caring. So Rubio literally had to go to the doctor one time, okay, two times. Once for his ears, which was a very minor thing, and the other thing, he had to get his teeth pulled out, like, I don't know, like 3 years ago. In those 16 years, that is the only time that Rubio had any health issue. He was a very healthy dog. And so I manifested that Rubio was very healthy, and his deterioration happened at the last, like the last few months of his life. So that in and of itself is a manifestation. So, however, during the process of this, of him dying, right, I put on hold anything that I was focusing on or like visualizing or whatever. Instead, I was like, no, everything that I desire is still there. It's still mine. I don't have to hold it. I don't have to focus on it. I don't have to babysit it. It's already mine. And I allowed myself to grieve. I allowed myself to cry and mourn Rubio. Okay, that is perfectly normal. That is being in this human body. So we are allowed to have emotions. You want to experience your emotions. You want to feel your feelings. You want to express how you feel, right? And the more that you allow yourself to do this, the easier it is to come out of that painful experience or those thoughts or memories or whatever circumstance you're in. However, with people that suppress emotion and suppress any kind of feelings, you might think that you're feeling okay in the moment, but it won't be long before that grieving or that mourning or that feeling that you were trying to stuff down is going to want to come up. So you want to allow your emotions and feelings, and it cannot stop anything, any of your goals or manifestations or anything. It can't stop anything. In fact, it actually helps you in so many different ways, more than you know. I know for a fact that there's so much more that I'm learning from the death of Rubio. And there's so many things that I've already learned that have come out of this. And one of those is that Rubio, and like all other pets that we have, right, and people in our lives, but I'm going to share with you my personal story about Rubio. One of the things that I learned is that he loved unconditionally. He didn't talk, I just knew he loved me. And even though I didn't like him sometimes because he'd poop in my house or, do weird little chihuahua things around the house for years that it would annoy me, like ruin rugs and those kind of things, he still loved me, whether I liked it or not. And it's something that I just always knew. And I allowed him more and more to cuddle with me and be around me, and I accepted that love more and more. Now, you guys, some of you might think, oh, it's just a dog, or that's not the same as a human. Yes, it is, because love is love, and allowing somebody or something to love you is something that we learn to do, and it's not something that we're taught to do. And most people that I know, and this includes me, I didn't know how to let people love me. I didn't know even how to let a pet love me. So I would try to figure out a way to sabotage it and to distance myself from the pet, a person, whatever it is, okay? So going through this experience was very powerful for me, because I noticed that I was allowing him to love me, and I was like, this is amazing, because he really highlighted it for me for the last couple years. So we can learn from circumstances in our life that happen that are even difficult. We can learn from those, and we can see what it is that the universe, your higher self, your power, whatever you want to call it, is trying to give you if you pause and allow yourself. So after a few days of grieving the loss of Rubio, right? Like I kept playing the whole scene back at the hospital of when they euthanized him, and it was like it would just cry, and I'd come home and I'd see his little empty his pet bed and his little blanket and those kind of things, expecting him to come around the corner, right? After I was kind of just like, stabilizing from that, I said to myself, what can I learn from the death of Rubio, right? What can I learn from this? What positive can come out of this for me? Even though it was an undesired circumstance, right? I still extracted the wisdom and the lessons from him dying. And these are the things that I sat down and I wrote out, the things that I learned about myself, the things that I learned about love, the things that I learned about unconditional love, and how he just gave that unconditional love, and that how we manifest even pets and people and circumstances in our life to learn from. Nothing in your life is an accident. Nothing in your life, whether it's a person, a pet, a job, whatever is going on in your life, nothing is a coincidence. Nothing is an accident. So if you can pause after you allow yourself to have your emotional reaction or whatever it is, it's okay. You pause, and then you can sit down and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What can I take away from this? Because if everything in my life is on purpose, everything is happening around me is trying to give me something, I promise you, you will be able to extract the wisdom from whatever is happening or has happened, okay? And you will learn something, okay? And it could be so many things. It's so personal to each individual person, okay? You can learn so many things. And like I said, I know that there's so much more that is going to come out of what I have been processing and journaling, but I want to tell you that if you allow yourself to feel it, if you allow yourself to extract the wisdom from what has happened, you will come out on top, my friends. You will come out a winner. You will come out leveling up. You will come out even more powerful because you allow yourself to experience something that is difficult, and you extract the beautiful wisdom from what has happened, even if it's undesired, and what you can get. So, for example, with Rubio, it's like he will not die in vain on any level because he gave so much. My son wanted his ashes, so we had him cremated, and they sent us his ashes. And the little box is so tiny. It's in the other room, but the little box is so tiny. It's like this big, right? It's really tiny because he was 5 pounds. But there's so much love in that little box that it could be bigger than all the buildings around me. And so now the love, I want to tell you, the love that I experienced with Rubio wasn't from Rubio. The love was coming from me, and I expressed it into this little person, this little furry person, right? The love was coming from me, and so that I can give it back to myself and receive it. So even though it seems like Rubio was giving me love, right? Giving me unconditional love, that's not it at all. It's me expressing love through Rubio so I can experience that unconditional love, okay? So when I tell you guys that everything in your life is trying to show you something, give you something, tell you something that you need to know, that you want, it's all a bridge of incidents. I know Rubio is even a bridge of incidents for me in a manifestation. I may not be able to fully see it yet. I just trust it. I trust it no matter how difficult it is. I trust that that is also part of a bridge of incidents. And what more beautiful thing than to realize, right, how much love that I actually had and experienced and expressed to everything and everyone around me. Okay, so I hope that this video was helpful, and I know that, and I see this in many Facebook groups and different posts about how do you handle the death of a loved one or the death of a pet, especially I see that one quite a bit. And I know it's difficult. I know it's difficult. And you must allow yourself to feel those feelings and trust that it has nothing to do with whatever it is that you're manifesting or a goal or the outcome or whatever. You will get through whatever it is that you're reacting to. And if it's not a death of a pet or a person, if it's another circumstance that you are reacting to, that you notice you're reacting to, and that you're just like, I don't like this circumstance. I don't want it. I don't know how I created it. I don't care. I just don't like it. It's okay for you to feel it. And then you come back and you stabilize yourself to a neutral place again. And then you ask yourself, what is the wisdom? What is this trying to show me about me? Okay, what is this showing me about me? Because it's never about another. It's never about the circumstances. It's always trying to feed you and give you something that you need to know. And the faster you allow it and accept it, the faster you move through it, and you go on to what it is that you truly desire to be experiencing in your life. So it's almost like the universe trying to give you information to speed you up, right? But when we ignore it and we try to suppress our feelings and we're just like, no, this is ruining everything or whatever. No, it's not. Okay, you cannot ruin a manifestation. You cannot, all right? So again, I hope this video was helpful, and please comment below if you have had a similar experience. Share your stories about the loss of your pets, and because it really does help other people normalize this, right? Because who would have thunk a little 5-pound furry little creature, right, could produce so much, right? Gives me so much and still giving. So anyway, another video I will share with you the effect that had on my son too. And it's really, really cool. All right, my loves. Again, thank you for being here. I appreciate your support. And if you're interested in my self-concept makeover course or working one-on-one with me, I do email coaching and I do one-on-one. If you just want a one-off session with me, I have that. Or you can work with me for 90 days if you want to get into all of your whole life and including business. Okay. All right. I will see you guys soon. Bye.